So, hello everyone. Today there is a special guest among us. That is Mr. Lenin. So he holds a profile that is exceptionally brilliant. So he has done his undergrad in mechanical as well as masters in mechanical. But right now he is doing a job of a Python developer as a Python developer. So here is us with Lenin. Hello Lenin.
Hi.
So could you please give a brief intro about your profile?
Just to correct you a little bit, I'm a data engineer.
Mm-hmm.
But I work predominantly with the Python language.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished my bachelor's in mechanical engineering in India in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2014, I came to the Netherlands for my master's in transportation and logistics.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I started my job as a Python developer in a company in Rotterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a data engineer. So I was a Python developer for the data engineering team only.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a data engineer uh, just like that. Yes.
Okay, so Lenin, you talked about your profile as a Python developer in some other field, that is data. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
could you just elaborate the point from where you began your journey as a Python developer till now? So it will give a better perspective to the other
So
people who are watching right now.
yeah. So what happened was during my final year of masters,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for to do my thesis in a company. The
Mm-hmm.
reason I was looking to do a thesis in a company is that they pay you
Mm-hmm.
money during the thesis, and yeah, finance is a huge issue when you are a student in a foreign country. So a company finally agreed to let me do a thesis on intelligent vehicles, but they wanted me to learn Python so that I can implement it to build a control system for the robotics they had, for the robotics project they had.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2015 November, the last I recall, I think 2015 November, I started learning Python, and then I did 6 months of internship my for my thesis in automated robotics, and that's where I actually started becoming a little more familiar with Python.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I got a job as a Python developer, so it continued.
Okay. So the part of internship was very important in getting you a job in as a Python developer.
Exactly, completely. I mean, I don't think I would have ever learned Python or got a Python developer job hadn't been that thesis internship.
Mhm. So during your internship and after post your internship, what are the different types of work that you have encountered, and how specifically they differ from what you have done in your internship and at your full-time position?
Well, my internship was very specific, right? It was about building a control system for robotics, and therefore I was just using libraries like Socket. So the topic was control of automated vehicles in an unsignalized intersection using vehicle to vehicle communication.
Mm-hmm.
So to program that vehicle to vehicle communication, I was using threading and Socket,
Mm-hmm.
the threading and Socket library in Python,
Mm-hmm.
and my work was predominantly in that area, so nothing computational.
Mm-hmm.
But after becoming a Python developer, my first job was Python developer for an analytics company,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the data engineering team.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started learning Python more in the areas of data engineering, data analysis, data science, operating system specifics, automation of tasks. So all these kind of things. So yeah, I think that thesis did give me a huge base for learning Python and working with it. But then now I have moved on to using more advanced things in my professional career.
Okay, so Lenin, before applying your job, were you prepared for that job, or did you prepare yourself during the process of the job?
The thing is, for me, it was not an option to finish my masters
Mm-hmm.
and look for a job by staying here and spending 1,000 euros a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find a job before I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
thankfully I found a job on April 2016.
Mhm.
Um, but that was the 19th company actually. So 18 companies before that rejected me
Mhm.
in various rounds, and I got my job in the 19th attempt.
Mhm.
So I was preparing the whole time. I was like applying for any jobs that suited, that I thought I had a little bit even skills. I was applying for them without wondering too much.
Mhm.
And this was one job. And I did see the position.
Mhm.
So they have positional requirements. What do they expect? So I started searching on Google and YouTube and started learning those things. And I was prepared. Like I went there prepared, and thankfully the first coding round went really well. The
Mhm.
first programming round they call you to their office. They give you three problems to solve in 2 hours.
Mhm.
It went really well. So after that, I think because of that programming round, because I was able to finish all the three problems, my interview went very smooth. As in, it was very chilled. Like they didn't ask me any technical questions. So yeah, I think yeah, I was very much prepared.
So, as you said, like you have were given three questions. So, were they
Yeah.
based on the competitive programming stuff, or were you they have given you a specific task to build something?
No,
Or
no, it's not competitive. See, what happens is when they know you are doing your masters and you have come from a different country, they know you have applied for GRE and stuff like that,
no,
right?
no,
So
you
already,
have got me wrong. By competitive means like there are questions that have been asked in various MNCs like Google, Amazon, and all these things. So they give you basically a problem statement, and there are various test cases. So you have to submit your program,
yeah,
and yeah, the test cases need to be corrected. So once you are done with all
they
these
were,
test cases, you will jump. You are
yeah,
able to jump to the next question. Or were they have given you something to build, like some problem statement has been given, and you have to build a chat box out of it, or something like
yeah.
that.
It is the second. So they gave me a problem statement that they have. If I remember correctly, it was 8 GB of raw data
Mm-hmm.
of radio
Mm-hmm.
of Netherlands radio,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted me to filter out and store the average frequency
Mm-hmm.
of every channel that was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to build the whole I had to build a database. I had to build a ETL process, so how to extract, transform, and load it to the database. So the whole pipeline basically.
Okay, so were given the access to internet during that competition during that time or not? During the
Of yes, 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 definitely. Here, I think you are asking me that question from the context that was I able to access some online resources,
exactly.
some help. It
Mm-hmm.
is completely allowed. See, people, I think in India also, I'm not sure, I've never worked in India,
Mm-hmm.
but here, how it works is people know that not everyone knows everything.
Exactly.
You don't know, and taking help from online resources is completely okay. In fact, it makes you make actually a better impression
Mm-hmm.
if you ask them, I'll take help from online resources.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you don't mind that. Then they know you are truthful, so they also know the style of work you are going to do, because here companies pay a lot of attention to your cultural fit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technical is one thing, but cultural fit is the second thing,
Okay.
is very important. So it makes a good impression that you are frank and truthful.
Exactly.
So I told them, like the first thing I told them was, I don't have experience building this, so I'm gonna take help from Google. They
Mm-hmm.
said, of course, you have to.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So
So it shows that like you have done a lot of googling and all these things.
yeah.
So before applying to a position, okay, so that was great. And then you started a YouTube channel. So when did the idea of making a YouTube channel came to your mind?
I think I started my YouTube channel on 11th of October
Mm-hmm.
or 12th of October, one of those days,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually wanted to do something like this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So there are two specific reasons why I did it. One is that I want to get better at Python
Mm-hmm.
in every possible way,
Mm-hmm.
and the more I keep doing solving problems with Python, I sometimes feel that I'm getting detached from the basics. sometimes those basics are not coming back to me, and then I have to Google. Trying to Google is not a wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Google is always going to be your first friend while you are programming. But then stopping right there, finding an answer, stopping right there, and not looking further is a wrong
Wrong
quality.
approach. Okay.
Yeah. So I saw this thing that okay, I was getting detached to the Python basics, so I need to develop myself, and one of the best ways to learn is by teaching.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, when you are talking to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
you can't you have to know your shit. You can't just make up bullshit and
Yeah, exactly. So
so
I got
this
your
is a
point.
way to learn. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a great way to learn.
Mm-hmm.
The second is actually I have this uh, I have always wanted to be an independent worker, not work for anyone, just work for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to build this. I want to build something called like buildx.com,
Mm-hmm.
where X is anything,
Mm-hmm.
where you just replace that X with anything, so you can build anything with Python.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Python. Maybe we'll include other languages as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to connect with talented developers from all around the country,
Mm-hmm.
around the world, and then combine with them, collaborate with them to create a website or create a platform where people can come and build anything they want by learning. And this is going to be a great aim actually. So it is one of my passions to start my own firm in this area.
Yes, I saw your videos and they were very informative. Apart from
Thank
like sharing your knowledge, but the enthusiasm from your videos is what makes me more interesting or more tilted towards what you are teaching to me. So
thanks
it's very informative, and I also recommend others who are learning Python. Even in fact, I am also learning Python, so I refer some of your videos. So it's a great stuff to know.
yeah.
And one more thing,
uh,
Lenin, you participated in an hackathon, in a Dutch hackathon.
yeah,
So how did you collaborated with the peoples over there, apart from working on the project during that hour?
that's actually very funny. I was not supposed to go participate in the Dutch hackathon because I hadn't registered.
Mm-hmm.
Then my friend, the lead data engineer actually of my company, is
Mm-hmm.
not my friend,
Mm-hmm.
but our how to say this chemistry is such that yeah, we treat each other as friends only.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, yeah, just come along. We'll see if we can,
Build something
push
on
you
that.
in. Yeah, we can do something about it. So I went with him, and then actually it was okay for the people management team there that I could participate,
Mm-hmm.
and it was well, let me remember. So four companies were sponsoring the Dutch hackathon.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was a mobile networking service, Tele2. I don't know if you know this.
Mm-hmm.
The Netherlands police was the second company,
Mm-hmm.
and then some companies like Microsoft who were overseeing the resources
Mm-hmm.
and other things. So the topic was to improve living conditions in the Netherlands by
Mm-hmm.
improving the data.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you have to analyze the data
Mm-hmm.
and use the data to do something good. So what we did was we came up with a renting agency idea.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, here the thing is, if you want to rent a house
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, you have to go to a website.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you give in your choices like how much money, how many bedrooms, all that, they give you the list.
Mm-hmm.
But so one very important thing here is the safety. People also look at safety of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was using the data set provided to us, we marked the areas that are safe or dangerous on a scale of 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then along with the house information, we also presented the safety information for that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was the project we did.
Mm-hmm.
And I teamed up with the Dutch team. Both me and my data engineer, we teamed up with the Dutch team. The people were very happy. We didn't win anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I
a
don't know.
nice,
Participation
good,
is must, winning is not.
yeah. I mean, it's just new experience,
Mm-hmm.
how everyone thinks. I mean, that's a huge knowledge to know.
Mm-hmm. Got your point. And Okay, so apart from this Python, have you looked for any other profile that you are willing to shift or not?
When you say profile, what do you mean?
So it
Like,
may be a data scientist or a data analyst or
oh,
anything else.
so I'm already a data engineer. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the ETL and data analysis part right now.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm also studying data science and a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I want to stay on in this pipeline
Mm-hmm.
as a professional,
Mm-hmm.
and then, yeah, I want to keep focusing on other parts through my own project.
Mm-hmm.
The day I feel that okay, I am self-sufficient to quit my job, do my own project,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna think about it. But I think it's better to be the best at one thing rather than being the jack of everything.
Okay, I completely agree with it. So
Yeah.
Lennon, one more question: like, if someone from India or some other part of the country is willing to go for Netherlands for their masters,
Yeah.
so do you recommend them for going or not?
Sure. Netherlands is a very good country. It's very safe. People are a bit weird, but that's okay. It's not that there's no racism in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, most importantly, the one factor that impressed me the most was it was the most cheapest country compared to the other countries I applied to United States, Sweden, Switzerland, and Netherlands. The TU Delft University, where I did my masters, is actually one of the top 20 universities of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the total expense here is almost like half of what you would pay in other countries. So
Okay.
that is one of the most important
So
things.
Lennon,
Yeah.
in your program, do you have any co-op programs in TU Delft or not? So co-op
Uh,
means an internship program that has been accredited into your report card.
yes. There are internship programs that you can do with companies, or you can do with other universities, or you can do with just people in that university. And I think it takes into account 15 credits
That's good.
out
That's
of
good.
120. Yeah.
So Lennon, what IDE you use for Python programming? So it's a PyCharm or it's
Ah,
something else?
so I have experience with almost all kinds of IDE.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, but I think for me, PyCharm is a very convenient ID option only because I have this bias for PyCharm only because I have used it so much.
Okay.
I haven't used any other ID for such a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but I have used PyCharm for a long time, and that's why I have this bias maybe. But nowadays, all IDs are good as long as you are comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should be able to own the ID and not let the ID own you. It's like
Exactly. So fair
so.
enough.
Yeah,
One more thing. Do you have paid for PyCharm or are you going with the community version?
community version. Yeah, community edition. But the thing is, we already have a PyCharm from our company, the
Mm-hmm.
business version.
Mm-hmm.
So since I'm working at the last two companies I've worked, so the present company and the previous company, both of them gave us the business edition of PyCharm.
Okay.
So you get license from the company.
So are you
So
doing any web development in PyCharm or not?
yes. I'm doing web development in well, I write my code in PyCharm only,
Mm-hmm.
community or
Web development.
business
Mm-hmm.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to run my like Python manage.py run server, all these things. The terminal, like to run that on my terminal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel more comfortable because I'm doing both the source control,
Mm-hmm.
version control using Git,
Mm-hmm.
and after taking care of those things, I like to type them on the terminal directly. But you can do that with PyCharm, I think. Probably in the business version,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually press something. There must be a button to
Mm-hmm.
open the web
So I
server.
haven't used the business
Hmm.
one. So
There is one good ID which is good for every language. It's brackets.
brackets.
Yes.
Brackets. I think so. The text editor Atom is also fine.
Yeah. Atom is good. Visual Studio is good. Visual Studio Code is good. There's a lot of good. Nowadays, there are a lot of good IDs, man.
Exactly. So I saw one video on your YouTube channel about it was regarding something like delivery management. So it
Uh,
was asked in Amazon or Flipkart. I don't know, remember the basic stuff.
yes, yes.
So are you particularly interested in all these videos or not?
Yes, yes. I'm particularly interested about these kind of videos because sometimes people may not be interested in the language.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but algorithm doesn't need a language. You can code it in Java, you can code it in JavaScript, Python, any language of your choice. Also, algorithm is very important, and those videos are specifically designed for students who are still in engineering colleges,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it's the algorithm that is very important. So I like to discuss such questions. I'm in contact with a lot of people from different companies,
Mm-hmm.
and they give me their question. If they can, they give me their questions,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to solve them and make a video out of it.
Oh, that's a good thing. Even I have
Yeah.
talked with someone who is a project manager at a very big firm. I may not name him in this particular video, but he told me like an algorithm is one that defines a developer, not the technology. So
Exactly.
if you are very profound with the aptitude thing that is algorithm in our computer world, then
Yeah.
no matter what where you land, you will excel.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
am particularly forward looking to your videos that are basically working out on all this algorithm things. So I haven't seen more, but you have published one or two. So
Three
particularly,
algorithm related videos. So the Fizzbuzz problem,
hmm
the delivery problem, and expressing a natural number as the sum of consecutive natural numbers. It's a Goldman Sachs interview problem.
okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. So Lennon, last but not the least, I want your departing words. So in this web series, we do ask such questions to people so that everyone else can get inspiration from them.
Uh, yeah, I think all I can say is, uh, I mean, don't let anyone tell you, that you can't do something. I think that's very important. That might sound like a cliche, but cliches exist for a reason,
Hmm
I believe. And also, one more important thing is, I think it will someday your hard work is going to pay back. I know a lot of people are scared of foreign universities
hmm
because they feel that education loan is going to become a huge problem,
hmm
and they might not be able to pay off. Well, I came here with education loan and I'm paying off every month,
hmm
and it's not at all a problem. If you really know your shit,
hmm
it's a really you find really good opportunities here or anywhere where you are going, and you can easily do what you want.
So Lennon, I too agree with your points that uh, if you want to do it, then you should do it, whether it's you yourself or someone else.
Yeah,
No one should be in
yeah,
between you and your goal. But along with that, I also feel like this nations need someone like me to stay over here and do the stuff so that I can spread all this knowledge among all the people that who are been working in different parts of the world, have different aspects to our life. So I can inculcate all this thinking into the people who are living over here.
yeah,
So Lennon, it was a
yeah.
pleasure talking to you, and I hope like
Uh,
with your videos and your stuff that you are doing online, people get inspiration and they follow you. So I will in the comment section, in the description box, I will mention your YouTube channel link, so
yeah.
everyone can refer from it. Thank you once again, Lennon.
No,
It
thank
was
you.
a
Thank
pleasure